إن الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله تبارك وتعالى من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله تعالى فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وكل ضلالة في النار. نسأل الله العزيز الغفار أن يجيرنا وإياكم من عذاب النار. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We thank Him for His generosity, for the ni'mah of Islam. Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islam wa kafa biha ni'mah. We praise Him subhanahu wa ta'ala for this bounty of Islam, and if He was the only bounty that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon us, by Allah, it will be sufficient. I would like inshallah ta'ala to touch up a little bit on what we spoke about in the khutbah, just for a few minutes, to kind of touch up on a few things that I wasn't able to mention because of the time. And as you know, subhanAllah, I spoke about two major things. The fact that first of all, the hukm of Islam when it comes to harming people in general, whether it is harming their person, or harming their property, or harming their honor in any way, shape or form. And we know that it is haram, absolutely haram in Islam, under any circumstances. And subhanAllah, I mentioned the second thing that I spoke about, and unfortunately didn't have a lot of time to do so. The fact that we are to be keepers of our covenants. We are to be keepers of our contracts. We are to be keepers of our promises. This is a big thing in Islam. And if you remember, I mentioned the hadith where the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam spoke about, this is the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. He spoke about the signs of a true hypocrite, the signs of hypocrisy. In this particular hadith, he mentioned three signs of hypocrisy. So he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that إِذَا حَدَّثَ كَذَبَ. If he speaks, he lies. Subhanallah. And this is a major one that all of us have to pay attention to. That we are supposed to tell the truth no matter what. Tell the truth even if it's against ourselves. Tell the truth no matter what the circumstances are. SubhanAllah, you remember that person that went to seek a hadith from someone. He traveled such a long distance on the back of a camel. And when he got to the place, he asked about that person. And they told him, he's that one over there. When he was getting closer to him, he saw that this person had his camel went astray. So he's trying to entice his camel back to himself. He was holding his toe up as if he had something in it, food in it. So that when he got there, the first thing that he asked him, do you have something on your toe? Do you have any food there? He said, no, I don't have anything. I'm just playing with the camel, trying to bring the camel to think that I have something, to have some food for it, so it will come to me. He said, well, you lied. This is considered a lie. You lied to the camel. You, subhanAllah, are fooling the camel. So I can't take the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ from you because you are not truthful. This is how important it is to be truthful at all times and not fall into hypocrisy, as the Prophet ﷺ said. Remember the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that in the man, and he said, الرجل خرج مخرج الغالب. He he said الرجل man, but he means by that any person. لا يكذب ويتحرى الكذب حتى يكتب عند الله كذاب. That person that keeps lying, he lies, and he looks for ways to lie more and more until he is written. Allah Ta'ala writes him as a liar, subhanAllah. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. We seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that, or from that. And the second thing, whenever he إذا وعد أخلف, when he promises something, he breaks his promise. Subhanallah. وَإِذَا اؤْتُمِنَ خَانَ. And if he's entrusted with something, he betrays that trust. So, subhanallah, the covenant, if you will cover all of these three aspects, subhanallah. Being truthful, when you promise something, you don't break your promise, and subhanallah, when you are entrusted with something, you do it. And just to spend a few seconds on the trust, it is also a major thing, subhanallah. Especially for us in this country, the ones that go to school, you are entrusted with a responsibility. You are to give your best and to be the best student that you can. That is a trust that is on your shoulders as a Muslim, because a Muslim is not viewed in the same light as the others. You have extra responsibility on you because you are the carrier of the truth. You are the carrier of the flag of La ilaha illallah. You are a representative of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So that adds extra pressure on your shoulders, adds extra responsibility on you, for you that if you're entrusted with something, to do it well. If you are entrusted with a responsibility at work, you are to deliver exactly the way you're supposed to be, and then some. Means that you have to go beyond the call of duty because you are a Muslim. You have no choice because you are someone who is representing Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to make us from the hypocrites. And as you know, the hypocrites, they'll have the worst punishment in the hellfire. They'll be in a dark and asfal. They're in the lowest place in Jahannam. And the lowest place in Jahannam is the place that has the worst punishment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ فِي الدَّرْكِ الْأَسْفَلِ مِنَ النَّارِ وَلَنْ تَجِدَ لَهُمْ نَصِيرًا. Verily, the hypocrites are in the lowest depth in the hellfire, and you'll never find for them any helper. So this is something for us to really pay attention to when it comes to our telling the truth, keeping our promises, and taking care of our trust. Now, subhanAllah, this couple of hadith that I did not get a chance to mention in the khutbah when it comes to al-mu'ahad. And one hadith in al-Bukhari, hadith ibn Amr رضي الله عنه, قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: من قتل معاهدا لم يرح رائحة الجنة. من قتل معاهدا, subhanAllah. Whoever kills a mu'ahad, someone that you have a covenant with, contract with, a mu'ahad. And I mentioned, if you remember, in the khutbah of Jumu'ah, someone that, for example, the mu'ahad in general is someone that comes to a Muslim country. He is given permission of entry. He's given permission to stay for a period of time. And that permission is a mu'ahada, it is a contract, it's a covenant, it is a promise that he will be protected as long as he is in Muslim land. Whoever harms him, then he has broken that mu'ahada. The Prophet said that he will not smell the fragrance of Al-Jannah. وَإِنَّ رِيحَهَا لَا تُوجَدُ مِنْ مَسِيرَةِ 40 عَامًا. That the fragrance of Al-Jannah, you can smell it from the distance of 40 years. But subhanAllah, this person will not be able to smell the fragrance of Al-Jannah. نعوذ بالله من ذلك. وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم: من قتل معاهدا في غير كنهه حرم الله عليه الجنة. Whoever kills a mu'ahad without justification, without just cause, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make Al-Jannah forbidden for him, subhanAllah. So, I mean, it is obvious from these ahadith and many others that these people that go out and commit these crimes in the name of Islam, that they are so far away from Islam to start with, and if they think that they are the true Muslims, because that's what they try to propagate, that they are the true Muslims, they are the ones that do the things that the Prophet ﷺ has instructed them to do, that Allah has instructed them to do in the Quran. If it's the case, what are they going to do with these ahadith? What are they going to do with them, subhanAllah? That Allah Ta'ala will make al-Jannah forbidden for them, that they will not smell the fragrance of al-Jannah. This is, subhanAllah, complete contradiction. They better reconsider. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم ألا من ظلم معاهدا أو انتقصه، وفي رواية انتقصه حقه أو كلفه فوق طاقته أو أخذ منه شيئا بغير طيب نفسه فأنا حجيجه يوم القيامة. Prophet says, lo, whoever oppresses the mu'ahad, and we have established who the mu'ahad is, whoever oppresses this person, or takes anything from his right, he takes anything away from him, any of his rights away from him, or he puts on him more than he can handle, more than he can bear, or he takes something from him without tayyib nafs, without him consenting to it. You take something from him, maybe he's too shy or too afraid to say no, but you still take that thing away from him. The Prophet ﷺ, listen to this, أَنَا حَجِيجُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Allah, the Prophet ﷺ, on the day of reckoning, now imagine you're in al-mahshar, you're out of the grave. All of us, all the believers know that there is something called a shafa'ah, intercession. And all of us will be looking for the Prophet ﷺ because we're looking for the intercession, the shafa'ah of the Prophet ﷺ. Imagine you finally find the Prophet ﷺ and he grabs you and he takes you. Ya Allah, I am the opponent of this guy. Take the rights of that mu'ahad from this person. SubhanAllah. Ya Allah. Ya al-khizi. This is the worst situation that a person can be in, to have the Prophet ﷺ be your opponent. And remember, subhanAllah, we spoke a little bit about Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, that situation. A prime example of the Prophet ﷺ being true to his mu'ahada. One thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, subhanAllah, the fact that what we mentioned, that keeping our promises, keeping our trusts, taking care of the mu'ahada and the mu'ahad, they are a part of our deen from the Quran and the Sunnah and the ijma' of al-ulama, the scholars of Islam. There's a consensus with the scholars of Islam. SubhanAllah, you'll find in the opinion of Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah, Imam Ahmad, and many others, that even a handshake is considered a contract in Islam. And subhanAllah, someone that you shake his hand for something, for any purpose, that is considered a contract. So if you shake the hand of someone to let him know that he is safe around you, then that's what it is. It is a contract that you cannot break. Even subhanAllah, so much so that the scholar said, and it's not based on what you understand, or what your intention is. No, it's based on what they understand. You see what I'm saying? You shake his hand. Let's say you shake someone's hand, and your intention is not that. Your intention is not that they're not going to be safe around you, that you're going to do something to them. But what they understood from you is the fact that they will be safe around you. Well, it's subhanAllah, the legislation of Islam, the shara of Islam, bases everything on what they understood, not what you understood. Even subhanAllah, if you give the illusion, any kind of illusion or sign to someone that they're safe around you, that is considered a contract in Islam. And I'll give you an example. One of the awkward situations that people fall into a lot. For example, someone that looks like me, with a long beard and a throat, gets into an elevator, and then a woman gets in the elevator, a non-Muslim woman. Well, obviously the first reaction, you see that she's uncomfortable, she's looking around, she can't wait for that elevator to reach the place where she's going. She cannot wait for that door to open because subhanAllah, she does not feel safe. Now, a person gets in that situation and he gives any kind of indication, a smile, a gesture, that it's okay, that you're okay. Even though that's not what he's thinking, it's not his intention, but what she understood based on that gesture, is that yes, that you're going to be safe, that you're okay, that nothing is going to happen to you. Then subhanAllah, that is considered a promise, a covenant, and a contract in Islam. Do you see how deep the scholars of Islam are going into this, subhanAllah? So every time that you are somewhere, and I know alhamdulillah everyone here, we are on the same page when it comes to that whenever you give a gesture, a friendly gesture to someone that have the right intention behind it, inshallah ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. Subhanahu ulama يقولون شبهة الأمان كالأمان. شبهة الأمان كالأمان. The illusion of safety and security, if you give it to someone as a Muslim, that's what it is. It is a solid thing, it is a contract, it is a covenant, it is something that you are not supposed to break. Now I mentioned, subhanAllah, the last thing I mentioned in the khutbah is the hadith of Hudayfa ibn Yaman radiyallahu anhu. SubhanAllah, a very smart man from the Sahaba. They're all very smart men. Allah Ta'ala handpicked them to be the companions of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the best companions to the best prophet and messenger. But this is someone, subhanAllah, that had the ability to see far ahead. He wanted to prepare far ahead. So he said, radiyallahu anhu, that people used to ask the Prophet ﷺ about the good things. Ya Rasulullah, awsini. Ya Rasulullah. Yeah, they will come to the Prophet ﷺ and ask him for advice, ask him for good things, good deeds that they can do to better their ranks with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to be closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ultimately to get closer to Al-Jannah. But subhanAllah, Hudayfa radiallahu anhu, he said, I used to ask him about evil. I used to ask him about bad things, evil things. Why? Subhanallah, so that I protect myself from them. Being afraid that this evil will come to me one day. So I know what to do. I know how to deal with it. He said, so I said, Ya Rasulullah, kunna fi jahiliyatin wa shar. We were in a jahiliyyah, in a state of ignorance and evil. And obviously, subhanAllah, although we open a clause here, the fact that we say all the time that the people, that Quraysh, the Arabs in general, were in a state of ignorance, jahiliyyah, it is an ignorance compared to the knowledge and the light that Islam brought. But that doesn't mean that they were a bunch of savages. We have to understand this concept. Because, subhanAllah, the Prophet said, إِنَّمَا بُعِثْتُ لِأُتَمِّمَ مَكَارِمَ الْأَخْلَاقِ. I came to perfect the good mannerism. That means that good mannerism was there already. But the Prophet ﷺ perfected it with the right creed, with the aqidah. Because good mannerism, having the right creed, having the right aqidah, the correct, not having the correct aqidah, and having the best kind of behavior, what does that do for you in the hereafter? We look at Western societies in general. Let's take America, for example, as an example. You'll find that majority people are nice, they try to be nice, they're friendly. You don't know what their intention is, Allah Ta'ala only knows. But in general, they try to be politically correct. They smile, they greet you, and so on and so forth. But and they do good things. A lot of them do good things for other people and for humanity. As they say, they try to be good Samaritans, right? But subhanAllah, without the proper creed, does that do anything for them on the day of reckoning? It does nothing, subhanAllah. It doesn't matter how much you did to benefit the others, without La ilaha illallah, with all of its implications, with the right creed, and the right methodology, the methodology of Ahl-Sunnah al-Jama'ah, the methodology of the people of the Sunnah and al-Jama'ah, then you find yourself in trouble, subhanAllah. So these are, La ilaha illallah comes with conditions that have to be fulfilled for La ilaha illallah to benefit you on the day of reckoning. Now let alone someone that doesn't even have La ilaha illallah, they're not even close. Their deeds will not do anything for them, subhanAllah. So the people of the Arabs, they had some good manners and they had some good qualities. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose them to be the carriers of the last revelation sent to mankind. They had al-karam, they had generosity, they had muru'ah, they had nobility, they treated people well. I'll give you one of this one example that popped in my mind. When the Prophet ﷺ was wanted in Mecca, that's it. They agreed, they got together in Dar al-Nadwa, and the consensus was for them to kill the Prophet ﷺ. That's it. There was no other solution with him. That's the only solution. Jibreel alayhi salam came to him and said, you know, the people they are in a complete consensus that they're going to kill you. So as you know, he put Ali in his spot so he can give the trust to the people that entrusted him with many things, and he, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, along with Abu Bakr, left. Now, subhanAllah, the kuffar, the mushrikeen of Quraysh, they're looking for him everywhere. Where they came and could not find him in his house, they're looking everywhere. But one of the things, one subhanAllah situation that comes to mind is the fact that Abu Jahl, some people would say, well, why don't we just break down the door and go inside? Go inside and see what's going on. He said, no, I can't do that. I don't want the Arabs to say and the people to say that I broke the door of someone's house, I went inside and subhanAllah, I don't know how to translate that properly, but I broke the door and was able to go inside to see the maharim, to see the women. Maybe they're dressed properly. I would not do something like that. This is in a situation of war almost. They're looking for someone who is the enemy. They want to kill him, but he still refused to do that. The other one that comes to mind is the situation of Abu Sufyan in the hadith of Herakl. Abu Sufyan, radiallahu anhu, that became a Sahabi afterwards. Before he became a Sahabi, he was still the enemy of the Prophet ﷺ. And in his conversation with Herakl, which is a long conversation, he said that Herakl asked him to be in the front, to sit in the front, and all his companions that were with him, you know, because they were on a trip, on a trading trip to Greater Syria, to sit behind him, and if he tells a lie, that they should signal, do something to signal that actually that what he said is a lie. He said something amazing. He said, subhanAllah, subhanAllah, he said the line, I'm a person who's, many narrations came, I'm a noble person in my tribe. If he was not, would be a stain, let's say, on my record, that people would say that Abu Sufyan lied, I would lie about him. But I am someone who's noble in my tribe, and someone that I rise above lying, subhanAllah. So these people they had some good qualities, they had a lot of good qualities. And these are people, subhanAllah, by the way, that they will give their life on a drop of a hat, as they say. They have no problem giving their lives for a cause. You just have to give them the right cause. They used to give their lives for some things that are stupid. They will fight over a camel race, and they will fight over things that are trivial. But when you give them the right cause, the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have no problem in giving their wealth, their time, and their lives for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these people, they had a jahiliyyah of the creed but when it comes to mannerism, when it comes to qualities, they did have a lot of qualities. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose them for the final message. This is a clause there. So he said we were in a jahiliyyah, we were in an ignorance and an evil, a state of evil, an evil situation, subhanAllah. Because they had some things that were not, they had some bad things. The biggest one of which is what? Idol worshiping, that they did not worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, they did not have tawheed. And this is the biggest evil that a person can fall into, is a shirk, wal-'iyadu billah. فَجَاءَنَا اللَّهُ بِهَذَا الْخَيْرِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought us this good, and the greatest good, subhanAllah, is to say La ilaha illallah, to follow the implications of it. So he was asking Hudayfa ibn Yaman radiyallahu anhu, فَهَلْ بَعْدَ هَذَا الْخَيْرِ مِنْ شَرٍ? Is there any evil coming our way after this good that Allah Ta'ala brought to us? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم نعم. Prophet said, yes, absolutely, there is an evil coming. قلت Hudayfa قال قلت وهل بعد ذلك الشر من خير? Is there any good after this evil that will befall us? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم نعم وفيه دخن subhanallah. Yes, there will be some good after the evil, but it is flawed. It is not perfect. There is something wrong with it, subhanAllah. There's a flaw in this good that is coming your way, subhanAllah. There's and look at this particular terminology or word that the Prophet ﷺ used. He said, وَفِيهِ دَخَلٍ, meaning that there is some evil. It is mixed with a little bit of evil. So the Hudayfa radiallahu anhu قال وما دخنه, what is this flaw that's in it? قال قوم يهدون بغير هدي تعرف منه وتنكر. A people, this flaw is a people that call others to something different than which I came with. They call people to bid'ah, they call people to things that are not part of the deen of Allah, they're not part of the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And we saw that in, right after the time of Uthman, the many sects that appeared, the Khawarij, the Mu'tazila, the Shia. They brought things in the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that were not from it. They were not from the hadi of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. قُلْتُ فَهَلْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ الْخَيْرِ مِنْ شَرٍ. So this good, even though it's flawed, but is there anything bad after it? And this is the point that I'm getting to. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم نعم دعاة على أبواب جهنم. Yes, callers, people that call in others, but they are standing literally at the doors and the gates of Jahannam. مَنْ أَجَابَهُمْ إِلَيْهَا قَذَفُوهُ فِيهَا. Whoever answers them, whoever answers their call, they will throw him in the hellfire, subhanAllah. We see them nowadays. There's so many of them. And the biggest group that I'm thinking of is Al-Khawarij. This is, subhanAllah, a deviant group that appeared. Some of them were at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, but they appeared clearly after the passing of the Prophet ﷺ. And Khawarij, we should do, inshallah, a lecture or two speaking about their creeds and what they do. But subhanAllah, we see them today. The Khawarij, they don't, the blood of human beings means nothing for them, subhanAllah. They, if you commit a sin, that you become a kafir for them. If you commit a sin, you are a kafir. And subhanAllah, they kill Muslims more than they kill anybody else. And they've been known to kill al-mu'ahadeen. They kill Jews and Christians, subhanAllah, to harm al-Muslims. And then we see them in these groups. I don't like to mention their names, subhanAllah, but we see them, they have the behavior and the methodology of al-Khawarij. Hudayfa, who did not stop there, and he goes further. He قال قلت يا رسول الله صفهم لنا. Describe these people for us, so that we see them, we recognize them. Well, listen to this. قال هم من جلدتنا. They are from our skin, meaning that they are from us. They are people that look like us. They look like you and I. Subhanallah. من جلدتنا ويتكلمون بألسنتنا. They speak our language too. We see that. Subhanallah. They say, they call themselves Abu Fulan and Abu Fulan. They give themselves kunya. Subhanallah, you see, mashallah, the way they dress. Oh, mashallah, this is the way. In jildatina, they're from our skin. And they speak the language. They talk the talk. They talk the talk. They look like us and they talk the talk. Subhanallah. تكلمون بألسنتنا. قلت فما تأمرني إن أدركني ذلك. What would you advise me, Ya Rasulullah? What would you advise me, Ya Rasulullah, if that reaches me, if I get to witness this happening? What would you advise me? قال تلزم جماعة المسلمين وإمامهم. You stick to al-jama'ah. That's why, subhanAllah, Ahlul Sunnah wal-jama'ah. That's where it comes from. The fact that you follow the people that follow the Sunnah, and they are the jama'ah, subhanAllah. You stick to the jama'ah of the Muslimin and their imam. Then, subhanAllah, Hudayfa does not stop there. He says, well, if there's فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُمْ جَمَاعَةٌ وَلَا إِمَامٌ. If there is no jama'ah and there is no imam, what should I do? قال صلى الله عليه وسلم فاعتزل تلك الفرق كلها. And stay away from all those sects and those groups. Stay away from all of them. وَلَوْ أَنْ تَعَضَّ بِأَصْلِ شَجَرَةٍ. Even if you bite on the root of a tree. تعض بأصل شجرة حتى يدركك الموت وأنت على ذلك. Even if you bite on the root of a tree until death comes to you while you're on that situation, subhanAllah. So let us go out there, all of us look for a good tree and bite at the base of it, right? Is that what we're supposed to do? No, the Prophet ﷺ, this is a kinaya, this is something that the Prophet ﷺ, even if you have to confine yourself to a particular place, if there's fitna out there, it is better for you than join in any of the groups that will mislead you and throw you in Jahannam wal-'iyadhu billah. And we see so many of them. I want to mention one more thing, inshallah ta'ala. We're already probably at 32 minutes, don't want to make it too long, that I wanted to mention. This situation in California. Of course, subhanAllah, the first day that it happened, I was watching the news, and I had the feeling, I was telling my family members, just wait, it's a matter of time. They're going to come up with a couple of Muslim names. Sure enough, the next day, wallahi, I didn't sleep that well that night. I woke up in the morning. Before I came to Fajr, around 5, I turned on the news. Sure enough, the first thing that I see is someone with a beard and these Muslim names, subhanAllah. But the problem, and I was discussing this with Sheikh Tariq, Jazakallah Khair, the problem that these people don't know, well, it's all Islam for them. It's all Islam. Everything is under the denomination of Islam. They don't understand that there are 73 sects that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned. There's only one of them. All of them are in the hellfire except for one. They ask, who is this one? The one that follows my way, my sunnah. SubhanAllah, the ones that follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ as it was understood. As it was understood by the Sahaba, the Tabi'in, and those three generations that the Prophet would go, 3 centuries that the Prophet ﷺ praised. This is the only one that is we can actually call as a true Muslims. This person, these people that they showed, subhanAllah, and I came to find out later on after I was really aggravated after I saw that, is the fact that subhanAllah, they are from the Ahmadi group. They're from the Qadiani group. Does everyone here? I know people that are originally from India or Pakistan or the West Indies will know who I'm talking about. But does everyone know who the Ahmadi people are or the Qadiani people are? Does everyone know? Well, this is, subhanAllah, a religion. I can't call it a sect that appeared in the 1920s. The 1920s. SubhanAllah. There was a big uprising of the Muslims of India against Great Britain and against the colonization of India. So Great Britain wanted to come up with a devise, a trick basically, to calm that uprising. They went to a person of nobility in India, someone who's well known, and they said that he had some knowledge, And he said, we want you to create for us this new religion, this new sect that says that when someone comes to oppress you in your land and someone that comes to colonize you, that you're not supposed to uprise against it. Because this is one of the true meanings of jihad, besides everything else that we know about what jihad truly means. Because when you are in your own home, in your own land, let's say you're in your own home, as a small example, and someone wants to break in, what is your duty to repel him and to kick him out? That is also a form of jihad. Similarly, when you are in your land and someone comes to colonize, it is your duty to repel that person. He says, they told him, we want you to create this religion that says that we make it a form of Islam, we make it under the flag of Islam, under the fold of Islam, but that says that there is no jihad. Okay, so this person, he claimed to be a prophet and a messenger, that he received revelations that Jibreel comes to him with revelations, and guess what? The revelations come to him in English, not in any other language. This is subhanAllah, probably in a British accent, right? So revelation comes to him that way, and he claimed to be a prophet, to be a messenger. He claimed that Muhammad is not the final messenger, Khatamul Anbiya, Khatamul Nabiyyin, Khatamul Anbiya. He said that's the ring, because in Arabic, Khatam is the last, or we can also use this word for a ring. Because he said he's the ring, the ring of Al-Anbiya. He said, so he's not the final messenger. He claimed to be a better messenger than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The area where he lived, called Qadian, he said that's a holy area, a holy land. It's better than Mecca. Then, after claiming that he's a prophet and a messenger, he claimed to be the Messiah. He claimed to be the Mahdi. Man, many hats. He wore many hats. So, prophet, messenger, better than Muhammad, Messiah, and the Mahdi. He claimed to be the Mahdi as well. And his followers ended up worshipping him. So, basically, he claimed divinity. Even though they say they did not make it clear, but these people used to make sujood to him. So, subhanAllah. So, and just top of our heads, is this Islam? Someone that says this one alone, someone that says that Muhammad is not the final messenger, is he a Muslim? Clearly he has committed kufr right there, subhanAllah. But still, these people, they claim, they say, we are the Ahmadi Muslims. The Ahmadi Muslims, well, Islam is innocent of them. But I just want to give you the good news that this person, this Dajjal, this liar, how he died. He, one of the scholars from Pakistan, India, and remember at that time, they were still one people. Subhanallah, the name of the Sheikh escapes. Died after 4 days. After 4 days of this mubahala. He got really sick and he died. And the Sheikh, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him rahmah and maghfirah, he lived 40 years after him. 40 years. And how did he die? Everyone that comes from our countries knows the old style bathrooms, azzakumullah. Those little holes there. Those are the old style bathrooms. This is what they had, huh? Turkish toilets. Hey, I didn't know that was the name. Because we have other names for them where we come from. He was sick. He had diarrhea, akramakumullah, and throwing up, and he was doing that for a little bit, and subhanAllah, he fell and died on the stuff that was coming out of him. The worst kind of death, subhanAllah. And if people had any brain, if he had any sense, you look at how the person died. And take notice, take ibrah, and learn from this. This person died in the worst possible way, but yet he still has thousands upon thousands of followers all over the world. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us on the straight path. We ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala subhanAllah, I told you this before I finished my dua. I told you this so we can at least have some comfort in knowing that the majority of these people that claim to be Muslims subhanAllah, you will find that the majority of them have nothing to do with Islam. It is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and Islam is here and they're completely on the other side. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from the ones that adhere to the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والحمد لله رب العالمين وجزاكم الله خيرا. SubhanAllah, my intention was just to touch up on this and then go back to our regular series, but قدر الله ما شاء فعل, took up the whole time. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us barakah in time. جزاكم الله خير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.